Erev Shabbat Shalom, Baruch Hashem, Parashat Behalotecha. We're going to be coming in contact with a lot of episodes in this Parashah. There's a lot to learn from, but just a few points what we could take home with us. This Parashah, it starts out with Aharon HaKohen when he is instructed by Moshe through the words of Hashem to light the candles. And it says over there that Aharon HaKohen did what Hashem told him to do through Moshe, and he did not change. Rashi says he didn't change at all. Meaning what? For 40 years, he did the mitzvah of lighting the candles and menorah in the Mishkan with the same enthusiasm that he had the first time, to show Hashem how important the mitzvot are for him. That's how we have to also come in contact with mitzvot. Day in and day out, when we come and put on tefillin. Day in and day out, when women want to be modest and dress modestly, they should be happy for another opportunity with the same enthusiasm. They come and do the mitzvah. That's what brings happiness to Hashem, and He's going to give you the joy that comes with doing the mitzvot, and it won't ever get hard for you. It won't get old for you. I have to wear tefillin again. I have to be modest again. I have to do this mitzvot. No. We learn from Aharon HaKohen how important it is to do it with things with enthusiasm. When Hashem sees that, He's going to put it in our hearts to love and enjoy the mitzvot more. A lot of people come and say, I don't enjoy Shabbat. I don't enjoy doing this mitzvah, because you're not doing it in a way that you're showing enthusiasm to Hashem. You're showing that you're having joy and enthusiasm and that this mitzvah, these are our lives, and these are the mitzvot that are going to make us who what we need to be. And Hashem will put that joy in your heart, and it'll be, every time you do it, it's like the first time you're doing it. It's like you're getting married for the first time. It's like like the Rambam says, a person has to come when it comes to the Torah mitzvot. It's like a man who's dating a woman and is engaged with a woman. And that's what we had last week's Parashah in the Haftarah. Hosea Navi says, "V'rastich li leoram." What we say on tefillin every morning, we put it on like a ring 3 times. 3 times like a chazakah. That's important to us. Just that we look at the Torah like a beautiful wife, beautiful fiancée that we are yearning to marry, that enthusiasm until the wedding night, and we get married and we become complete and we start a new life. It's going to carry throughout the life. That's why the lashon every day that we say put on tefillin is a lashon of being engaged and not married, because engagement is the enthusiasm. The guy sitting with him in a chavruta or in his work, he says, "Hello, Shlomi, are you here with me?" No, the guy is thinking about his fiancée. He's thinking about the love of his life when he's going to get married. That's the way you should be thinking about your learning Torah, the mitzvot. Like a fiancée that you're earning to be with her. That you're always looking forward to get married. When is that day coming? If that's your way and enthusiasm that you show to Hashem, like Aharon HaKohen, wow, what is it going to be the next morning that I could light the candles again? In the tabernacle, in the Mishkan. Hashem says, that's the love you have for the Torah. Like a man who's dying to marry his fiancée, then that's the love I'm going to put in your heart and give it to you to do over and over again with the same joy, but the joy is getting greater and greater. That's why when you see a person who is religious, who's doing the mitzvot for the right reasons, he's always happy. Shabbat is Shabbat. Tefillin is tefillin. Modesty is modesty, and they do it with a full heart. The people around don't affect them. What are you doing wasting your life? Shabbat, you're not going to the beach. You're being modest. You're not enjoying life. Show off your body. No! No! We do things the right way, like Aharon HaKohen, and you show to Hashem what matters to you the most. Hashem puts the joy in your heart, and that's why, for the most part, the religious people are more happy. The Orthodox are more happier. There's no one perfect. There's bad and good in everything. When we show Hashem that you want to do the mitzvot, and it's lovely to you, like a man who wants to marry his fiancée, and Hashem will give you that joy and love in your heart. You feel rejuvenated, and you want it more and more every day. You move on to the next part, another episode in the Gemara, in the Torah that the Gemara expands on. Talks about after a year, about 2 months being on Har Sinai, it was time for the Jewish people to settle up, to pack up and go, because Hashem wanted to bring him to Eretz Israel. This is over there by Yitzu B'nai Yisrael. Rashi says, as if little school children running away from school when the bell rings. And that was a big no-no for them. But the question is, what do you mean? Hashem told Moshe to tell the Jewish people to pack up! It's time to go! Let's go! I want to bring you to Israel, to the land that I promised Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. So what's the problem? Why are you blaming the Jews for being like a school child running away from school? The answer is, we have to look back when it came to Gashmiut, it came to materialism. A year and 2 months before, when the Jewish people came out of Egypt, it says, Bizat Hayam, when the Egyptians drowned, the water would spit out by the command of Hashem, all the gold, all the treasures that the Egyptians had worn with them on their horses and themselves. And they started taking all the gold and, that was ownerless now. Until Moshe Rabbeinu had to drag them away from the Red Sea. Hashem says, why? When it comes to Ruchaniut, spirituality, why didn't you have a little remorse in your heart? Why didn't you say, come on, give us another 2 minutes? Why didn't you say, come on, I want to be here another hour? I want to stay at this place that we got the Torah. It's such a holy place. I don't want to leave it so soon. Although we're going for the right reason. We're going to the Jewish homeland, Eretz Israel. At least show Hashem that it was important to you, like it is when it comes to materialism. And that's why Hashem was a little upset over here. And what happens? It says that they went for 3 days. They went very fast for 3 days. Rashi says, without doing Torah, without learning Torah. And they started complaining. Why are we going so fast? We don't want to stop. Although Hashem says, I wanted to get you to Eretz Israel as fast as possible. Because I love you guys. I want you to come and take the Holy Hand as soon as possible. But they complained. Why did they complain? Our sages tell us, because they went out for 3 days without Torah. You see from this, very important point. When you don't learn Torah, you start complaining. All the complaints come because you don't learn Torah. Because you are Amaretz. Because you're an ignorant person. That's how a person comes and says, these rabbis, the Torah, this and that. They're trying to limit us. That's an Amaretz. That's an ignorant person. That's a complainer because he doesn't learn Torah. If you learn Torah the way you should, if you learn from the Jewish mistake of not running away from Har Sinai, like a school child trying to run away when the bell rings, running away. No, that's when the complaints come. When you're not learning Torah, when you're not living a life of Torah, then your life is full of complaints. Look around. Look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror in the morning. Look at your neighbors who are not learning Torah, if they're not. Look at their lives. They might look like with a lot of smiles in the morning. Hi, Mr. Jacobson. Hi, Mrs. Schwartz, with the fake smiles on their face. Are they really happy? No. They're complainers. They're complaining about the weather. They're complaining about why they don't have that villa, why they don't have that car, why this and why that. Why are you complaining? Because you're not learning Torah. If you learn Torah the way you should, then you will never complain. You start seeing the cup half full. You start thinking about all the things that you do have. Your health, the fact that you're Jewish, the fact that you have the Torah, the fact that we're the chosen nation, the fact that you have arms and legs and eyes, the fact that you're married with children, the fact that you're breathing, the fact that you have water and food at your table, the fact that you have a roof over your head. Start looking at your life in the spiritual realm. Don't be a complainer. And you could only not be a complainer if you're learning Torah. And we end up with this. Another lesson, how we could learn not to be complainers, to show Hashem what's important to us. An episode of two people. The second year when the Jewish people are in the desert, they want to bring the Korban Pesach, the Pesach offering. And Hashem says, whoever is tameh met, whoever is impure because he's contacted the corpse, he cannot bring the Korban Pesach because you need a week at least to become tahor, and they didn't have enough time for that. Okay, so there was two people, El Safan Elisaphan and Mishael, who came to the tent of Moshe Rabbeinu and knocked on the door, said, excuse me, you want to do the mitzvah also? Bring the Korban Pesach. And Moshe says, but you're not obligated. You're patur. Wait till next year. Closes the door. They knock on the door. He opens the door. They start screaming, why should we lose out? We love doing mitzvot. It hurts us for not doing mitzvot. Hurts me not to be modest. Hurts me not to put on tefillin. Hurts me that I can't do mitzvah even if I'm honest. Hashem says, give it to them. Look at this beautiful people. Even though by law, they don't have to do the mitzvah because they can at the state they're in, but it hurts them. I'm going to give them Pesach Sheni. They don't have to wait till next year. They'll wait till next month. I'll give them Pesach Sheni where they could bring the Korban. This is going to be forever the mother of all second chances. A lot of times a Jewish person or anybody, when he stumbles, the invocation comes and says, it's over. You're down? Stay down! Just keep going down! Start doing averot! Hashem doesn't love you anyway. But He makes you forget that you could do teshuvah. He makes you forget that life is all about second chances. Not that we should be looking for to fall. But if you do fall, it says by his tzaddik, he falls 7 times and gets up. Kol sheken that by someone who's not a tzaddik, he keeps falling and falling. But we shouldn't forget that we have a loving Father who's always stretching His hand and says, come, give me your hand. Just do teshuvah. And we show to Hashem that we're not like little kids who want to run away from mitzvot. We're not like little kids who stay away from Torah and start complaining. We're not like people who are on news that they can't do mitzvot, but it doesn't hurt them. It hurts us that we can't do mitzvot. We have to show Hashem that. It hurts us that we can't be learning more. If you are someone who is a working man or working woman, or whatever it is, you can't do so many mitzvot and learn Torah and be modest. Show to Hashem that it hurts you. Hashem said, it hurts you, I'm going to give you a chance to do more, to learn more. I'm going to bring you to around women who are more modest so you can learn modesty from them. When you show Hashem that, Hashem will bring you closer. It'll give you chances more and more to become more of an observant Jew. And with that, you don't have to be complaining anymore because we learn Torah. Because when we learn Torah, the complaints go away. A person who lives with the faith of the Torah, he's got no questions. But if he does not have the emunah and the faith in the Torah and doesn't go by the ways of the Torah, his life is full of questions. Bezat Hashem, we should choose to be like the former, to live with the emunah, to go with emunat Rahamim, to go with etzat Rahamim, to live life of Torah, and with that, Bezat Hashem, we'll see the life is full of joy, no more questions, always full of mitzvot, in this world, happiness, and for sure, in the world to come. Shabbat Shalom Alech.